How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from last night, which was May 31st, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match one, it was The Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, versus the Tate twins, which are Brent and Brandon Tate. That was a great match, but the ending to it, The Acclaimed went over because Anthony Bowens pinned Brent Tate with the acclaim to fame from Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Well, before the match, as the Tate twins were already out at the by the ring, the Acclaimed came out and Max Caster done a rap on the Tate twins, and Anthony Bowens said his signature line, AEW, the Acclaimed have arrived, which that was cool. Match two, it was Layla Hirsch versus Robin Renegade. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Layla Hirsch went over with the cross arm breaker. That was match two, by the way. Match three, it was Thunder Rosa versus Reka Tahaka. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Perverian Calavera choke. Match four, it was the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, versus Chaos Project, which are Luther and Serpentico. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Varsity Blondes went over because Brian Pillman Jr. pinned Luther by the springboard clothesline. That was match four, by the way. Match five, Match five, it was Nyla Rose and the Bunny versus Big Swole and Red Velvet. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Nyla Rose and the Bunny went over because Nyla Rose pinned Big Swole with a punch in the face with brass knuckles from the Bunny. That was match five, by the way. Match six, it was Pena El Cerro Miedo versus Jack Evans. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Pena El Cerro Miedo went over with the Fear Factor. That was match six, by the way. Match seven, it was Ty Conti versus Ashley D'Amboise. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ty Conti went over with the DDT, and match eight, which was the main event, it was Jungle Boy versus J.D. Drake. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Jungle Boy went over with the snare trap. Now, besides the matches, Thunder Rosa cut a promo talking about how Britt Baker won the AEW Women's Championship at the AEW Women's title at Double or Nothing 3, and also talked about how Britt Baker was still afraid of her and how she was going to kick the shit out of Reka Tahaka tonight on Elevation and everything, which that was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Jungle Boy, and Tony Schiavone was pretty much going over everything with Jungle Boy, talking about Kenny Omega's strategies and everything, and Jungle Boy was talking about how he's had two opportunities, and he accomplished one of them by winning the Casino Battle Royal and everything. And Christian Cage came out and was talking about how he wasn't happy that he lost the 21-man Casino Battle Royal, and how he's passionate about the business of professional wrestling, and how he's known Jungle Boy since Jungle Boy was a little boy, and said that since then he's seen it in Jungle Boy's eyes that he has passion for the wrestling business and everything, and also told Also, Christian Cage wished Jungle Boy luck on his match against Kenny Omega for the AEW title in a couple weeks. And after Christian Cage congratulated Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy came out and was talking shit towards Christian Cage, saying that he was a piece of shit, that Christian Cage betrayed him and that he was a piece of shit and everything. And Christian Cage was pretty much telling Matt Hardy to do something about it and everything. And then Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy attacked Christian Cage from behind, and Matt Hardy joined in, and so Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy ganged up on Christian Cage, beating the shit out of him, and then Jungle Boy attacked Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy with a springboard crossbody, and so Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy, who are the Hardy family office, retreated, and Jungle Boy was Jungle Boy was tending to Christian Cage, and so Christian Cage and Jungle Boy got up and stood tall Christian Cage got up and Christian Cage and Jungle Boy stood tall while Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy retreated. That was cool. And also the promo from Thunder Rosa was cool as well. Let me see. The Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, cut a promo, and Brian Pillman Jr. was talking about how in AEW he's had a snake. He's had a snake at his side, and talked about how Serpentico's been nothing but a pain in his side and everything, and Griff Garrison was talking about, and Griff Garrison was pretty much saying that that tonight him and Brian Pillman Jr. were gonna beat Chaos Project. We're gonna beat Luther and Serpentico, and after they get done with Chaos Project, they were gonna go back to focusing on winning the AEW tag team titles and everything, which that was cool. Pena El Cerro Miedo and Alex Abrahantes cut a promo, and Pena El Cerro Miedo was cutting his promo in Spanish, and I couldn't understand it, so Alex Abrahantes translated everything Pena El Cerro Miedo said. And what was said was, Alex Abrahantes was saying, Pena says that this coming Friday on AEW Dynamite, the Young Bucks, we meet again, but this time I'll be coming with Pac. And Jack Evans, tonight on Elevation, our rivalry from AAA will continue and everything. And Pena El Cerro Miedo was saying he was Pena El Cerro Miedo, and he had no fear and everything, which that was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Dustin Rhodes, and Tony Schiavone was asking Dustin Rhodes about his match against Nick Comoroto in a bull rope match on AEW Dynamite this Friday, and Dustin Rhodes was saying that he's never lost in a bull rope match, and that this Friday he didn't care how big Nick Comoroto was or how tough Nick Comoroto was, that Nick Comoroto will be tied to him and everything, and also talked about how he was going to beat the shit out of Nick Comoroto and how he was going to bulldog his ass to hell and everything, which that was cool. And Alex Marvez interviewed Joey Janela, and Alex Marvez was pretty much asking Joey Janela about his match against Hangman Page, and Joey Janela was talking about how Hangman Page fucked up his teeth and everything, and Alex Marvez was asking Joey Janela about his um, about why he didn't have he didn't have Sonny Kiss's back after the match between Brian Cage versus Sonny Kiss on AEW Dark last week, after when Hook attacked Sonny Kiss after the match between Brian Cage versus Sonny Kiss on AEW Dark. And Joey Janela was saying that he had a splitting, terrible, horrible, painful migraine, and was saying that him and Sonny Kiss were like jelly and Nutella, apples and oranges, and that they were also BFFs, best friends forever, and everything. And Alex Marvez was talking about how he texted Joey Janela about going to the beach, and Joey Janela never responded. And Joey Janela talked about him going to the beach and said that next week him and Alex Marvez can go get some drinks and everything. And Joey Janela left, and Alex Marvez looked on confused and everything, which that was cool. But besides all that, Tony Schiavone and Paul White done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Excalibur done guest commentary along with Paul White during the match between Thunder Rosa versus Rekka Tahaka. And the reason Excalibur done guest commentary on... Wait, hold on. But besides the matches, the promos, and the segments and everything, Tony Schiavone and hold on. But besides the matches, the promos, and everything, Tony Schiavone and Paul White done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Excalibur done commentary, done guest commentary. Hold on. Tony Schiavone and Paul White done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Excalibur done guest commentary along with Paul White during the match between Thunder Rosa versus Rekka Tahaka. Excalibur done great on guest commentary. And the only reason Excalibur only done guest commentary with Paul White is because Tony Schiavone wasn't at the commentary desk in that match because he had something else he had to do. During the match between Thunder Rosa versus Rekka Tahaka, that is. And the referees for the event were Frank Gastineau, Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between The Acclaimed versus the Tate twins. Paul Turner refereed the match between Layla Hirsch versus Robin Renegade. Frank Gastineau refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Rekka Tahaka. That was Frank Gastineau, by the way. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between the Varsity Blondes versus Chaos Project. Mike Posey refereed the match between Nyla Rose and the Bunny versus Big Swole and Red Velvet. That was Mike Posey, by the way. Rick Knox refereed the match between Pena El Cerro Miedo versus Jack Evans. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Ty Conti versus Ashley D'Ambrose. And Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Jungle Boy versus J.D. Drake. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, there are a couple things I forgot to cover on my review for AEW's pay-per-view event Double or Nothing 3. Well, during the pre-show, the Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, which are the Hardy family office, which are Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, the Blade, and the Bunny, cut a promo, and Matt Hardy was talking about how the Blade got injured and he was out of the 21-man casino battle royal, and was saying, but him, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy were still in the match. And Matt Hardy was saying that if he won, he would cut instead of 30% of Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy's earnings, he would get 15% of their earnings and everything. That was cool. And for the main show, I forgot to cover that in 2 weeks on AEW Dynamite, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy for the AEW title. And there is one thing I forgot to say last week for AEW Dynamite is Lee Johnson was involved in the weigh-in between Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo last week on AEW Dynamite, because Lee Johnson was with Cody Rhodes, was there with Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Arn Anderson, Red Velvet, Teal Runnels, which is the sister of Dustin and Cody Rhodes, and all the Nightmare Family students. And the Factory was also the Factory, which are QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, Aaron Solo, and Anthony Ogogo, along with some other dude, was there. But that was what I forgot to cover. That's because I forgot to add that Lee Johnson was in that segment with Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. That's why I was covering it. For AEW Dynamite last week, that is. But anyway, I just wanted to come on... Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to come on here... Wait. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from last night, which was May 31st, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road.